Hello, Americans and people around the world. Found out there's more people listening to me than I thought. This is Cameron L. Abington, podcast versus the world. A few things we talk about before we get started with the show today. Um, if you're looking for us, we're on all your favorite podcast locations: YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. On Spotify, if you're looking for us, it's Pod Space Cast. I don't know why it's like that. Don't make sense to me, but that's the way it is. Today, I was going to talk about a different topic, but I think this one's more important than the one I was going to go after today. It's very much more important. People, the Republicans are coming to steal your health care. They're coming to take Medicaid away. These and I say that it's like we live in two different worlds, and that's how I feel today. I feel like we live in two different worlds. One world where we have all these rich people, and you look at your congressman. Hey, listen, they've made a lot of money doing the things they do. It's like they forgot. Maybe they all came from rich families or whatever, and that's how they operate. I guess I don't know, but it's like they don't care. They would rather cut health care for millions of people so the rich can get their tax breaks. Yes, that's what this is about. Rich versus poor. Remember, I've said this from the very beginning of this podcast since I've started. It is rich versus poor. They don't care, and they're going to add to our deficit. They're saying, once the final estimates come out from the CBO, the CBO does all the numbers, and they don't have a dog in the fight. They just tell you how it's going to be. They're just going to tell you, right? And yeah, yeah. Going to add, I've heard estimates of $3 to $5 trillion onto our national deficit. We're already at 37, I believe, but they don't care. These Republicans, it used to be anytime you heard about spending, it was always the Democrats. You always heard, well, those Democrats, they love to spend money. They just spend like drunken sailors. People, when Donald Trump was in office his first time, you want to guess how much money he spent in office? I just learned this from CNN. I was watching this and I was like, I'll be damned. I knew it was a lot. Didn't know it was that much. $8.3 trillion. Now, Biden, who we keep blaming everything on Biden, he spent 4.7 trillion. I mean, neither one of them are great. We need to start balancing the budget. We got drunk people at the office. We have a Congress that's not doing their damn job. We have a president drunk on power he does not care. Now he has said that he will not cut Medicaid, but from everything I'm hearing, it's going to happen. You better fight like hell. You better start calling your congressman. You better let them know. You cut that Medicaid, I'm cutting your ass out of office. 'Cause you have to understand the bigger things that are going to happen here. You are going to have hospitals, rural hospitals, where I live at. I live next to a rural hospital. The next hospital that would be considered not rural is an hour away from me, about an hour. I think I've talked about this. I think I did a TikTok on it one time or the other day. Better not bleed to death. Don't be bleeding. Don't have a heart attack. You're gone. An hour? But that's how these hospitals operate. How you think your doctors get paid? If it's not like it's not like jobs are booming in certain areas. Let's be honest about it. Jobs aren't booming everywhere. They're not. And it, I don't know what to think about this. And the crazy part is they come to your face and they just laugh and giggle, and it's going to hurt the red states the most. We have states, right? Red states. They have no money, right? With the federal government cutting education, don't ask me how the education's supposed to work. Don't ask me how that shit's supposed to work. I want to see that. How is that supposed to work? Yeah, I can't wait. Show me that one. Explain that. What do you think's going to happen when they don't have health care? People depend on Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security. The big beautiful bill doesn't have everything in it like you thought. No tips on Social Security. That's a lie. But they don't care. They don't care. They say, "Oh, we got to cut the spending. The spending's too much." Okay, I can fix your spending right now. Let me here. Give me about 5 seconds. Oh, let's see. Let's cut some money from our defense. We're getting them $1 trillion just right off the bat. Here's $1 trillion. There's reports of 60% of the money that the Defense Department has. They have no idea where the hell it's at. But I thought Doge was supposed to fix all that. I thought Doge was supposed to go and check the books. Yeah, Doge isn't what they're telling you, everybody. It's not what they're telling you. They are cutting Medicare to the poor, healthcare to the poor, so the rich can get richer. And these tax cuts that they say the regular Americans, supposed to get, it amounts to be, I think I saw a number of $100 a month. So let's cut 13 million people, 10 to 13 million people off of healthcare for an extra $100 a month. And we're okay with that. Are you okay with that? I'm not okay with that. Is this what we voted for? Because let me just be very honest. All you Trump voters, MAGA, I'd be mad as hell. Are you okay with that? Your health care? We all know somebody on Medicaid. If you work at a nursing home, you've met a lot of them on Medicaid, Medicare. It's not just for people without a job. What about the working poor? Think about this for a second. How many full-time employees do you see at fast food restaurants? How many? I mean, be honest. How many do you really, really see? There's a reason for that. There's a reason why it's built into the numbers that they don't have a lot of full-time employees. At least where I'm at. My Wendy's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, name them all. Brahms, name them. Name them. Now the managers are full-time. They get insurance. What about the plain workers? How many of them do you know that are full-time employees? They have a system set up to where if the numbers are too low, people start going home. My son works at Pizza Hut. That's what they do. Every company does. I did it when I was working at McDonald's as a kid. When I was 16, they did it there. They would sit there, look at the numbers. Back then, they had a little printout would come out, and it would show um, that the numbers were too high for the volume of money that was coming in, and you had to adjust the scale. You had to adjust. We got to get the work number lower So McDonald's can make a profit. Okay. I was a teenager. Like, okay, I'll go home. Shit, I'm out of here. I wasn't worried about insurance. Didn't care. So if you're the working poor, you go to work to McDonald's or any fast food restaurant or any I mean, just name a place. I imagine Walmart's the same way. Target. I mean, name them. Are they all giving everybody insurance? Target might. They're a pretty good company. I don't really know Target's deal, but they want to keep those numbers down. If they don't have to pay you insurance, that saves them money. So what does somebody do? You go get Medicaid. You say, hey, listen, I'm working. I can only get so many hours. Some people work two jobs, can't get insurance at either one of them. So we're going to sit here and take insurance away from them. We should make them pay a. I think I've heard a copay. Oh, so we're going to tax the poor people, but the rich people once again get off. I told you. I told you from the very beginning of this podcast, rich versus poor. I've told you, told you, told you. Don't make this about Republican and Democrat. Don't make this about black versus white or Mexican or whatever. Don't make it about that because that's not what it's about. It's about these rich people taking away from the poor so they can stay on top, so they can keep everything to themselves. They take away your education so your kids can't be like them. That's what they're doing. They're taking your education away. They don't want anybody to get it where they're at, but they know that for a kid to get education, he's going to have to have help from the United States government, Pell Grants and things of that nature. Well, if you cut the Department of Education, they can't get all that. Now, who can afford to go to college? Can you afford to go to college and pay for it by yourself? What do you think? Hmm? Sounds kind of interesting. Sounds interesting to me. It's all part of a plan. Now you're gonna. I mean, if they cut this Medicaid, and you better pray that there's some Republicans with a spine and a conscience, because the ones that I'm seeing on TV do not. They do not. They do not care about you. They don't care about the rural hospitals that take care of people. They don't care about how it's going to hurt people not having insurance. Insurance should be a basic right of every person. You get sick, you go to the hospital or whatever, you get fixed up, the government pays for it. We pay our taxes, that's what we pay for. How about we check the book on the defense budget? See where that money's at. There's your trillions of dollars you want to find right there. Or how about this? How about we go to Elon Musk, take all of his contracts that are worth probably, I think I've heard 36 billion or something like that. Take his shit and say, Elon, sorry, we're gonna have to doge you today. But no, we're not gonna do that. We'd rather take food from kids, stop cancer research for children, all of our research that we've done to help people stop diseases. And then we got the madman office talking about putting tariffs on pharmaceuticals. It's like what? I thought we were done with tariffs. I thought we were going to chill out with the tariffs. Now Subaru, I think, said came out and said they're going to have to up the prices. I mean, they said have to up the prices of cars. Car prices of your car prices are going to go up because of Donald Trump's meddling and his tariffs and his big beautiful bill. The prices of your items in grocery stores are about to go up. Walmart has said they're going to try. And then Trump had the nerve to tell you better not do that. I'm watching. I don't give a fuck about you watching. They got investors to take care of. You think they're going to eat the tariffs that you put on there stupidly? This stupid. Doesn't make any sense. Now we lost our rating, and Trump's like, ah, so whatever. It doesn't matter. It does matter. If we keep messing around, there are going to be these countries turn in our debt. Do you understand what that means? People buy our debt because we're a country that usually we pay our bills. We do like we're supposed to, but we kind of pay our bills. Usually we pay the interest on it. Like I told you, this is like a check cashing thing. Right? If you've never done a check cashing thing, ask somebody who has. And I have. I mean, I'll be honest about it. That's exactly what we're doing. Instead of paying it down. Now we're gonna drive it back up some more. But they don't care. They don't care. Because like I said, they're messy. The president's messy. He don't give a shit. He don't care. He don't care about you. He told Walmart to eat the tariffs. Whatever. You should know why the prices of things are gonna go skyrocket. He's talking about doing another round of tariffs. He's gonna send it in the mail. I laughed my ass off. I said, so now every government's gonna be at the mailbox. You tapping their foot, like, okay, okay, we're waiting on that letter telling us about the tariffs. Hmm. It's so exasperating. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that we can do this. Going back to the Medicaid issue, we can hurt working poor families and without batting an eye, like it's okay. Like I'm telling you, if you watch the news and you watch, like CNN and I mean, watch Fox, watch how smug they are about it. Oh, these Medicaid cuts aren't deep enough. But hold on, don't you get free insurance for the rest of your life? How about we cut your shit? How about that? That's what we need to do. Cut their shit. Let them come to the same restraints that we are. How about you fucks get out of Congress, go get a fucking job, and pay for your own insurance when you're done? Because I'm gonna say this right now: we need to have term limits. We'll make them fucks get out of office, go get a fucking job, and pay for their own shit for the rest of their life. We shouldn't pay for it. I believe, if I remember correctly, we pay for their insurance and stuff for the rest of their life. But they don't mind cutting yours. They don't care about you. They don't care. They will cut your insurance as you sit there and they don't care. They don't care about people who are poor. They don't care about injured. They don't care about handicap. They don't care. And then they want the ratio of the states. People, there are states that are broke as hell that can't afford it. So if you live in a state like, well, let's say Arkansas, Mississippi, the Carolinas, maybe I think South Carolina's pretty broke, Alabama's stuff like that. You ain't got the money for it. West Virginia, you ain't got the money for that. Your state ain't got. You guys can't afford that. You're gonna go belly up. But this is what happens when you have people who don't care, and we vote because we're tribal. When you vote tribal, this is what you get. We have all these people who voted for Donald Trump and his MAGA agenda and didn't understand. They didn't get it. But then again, Democrats didn't sit there and really get the message out strong enough. Okay. I will say this over and over again. All they talked about, because I'm not a Democrat, all they talked about was transgender rights and all this nonsense. And they did. The Republicans ran a campaign talking about transgender. The Democrats should have cut that shit out and went after them on the issues. Donald Trump is against America. Now, supposedly, he said he won't sign it if it cuts Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security. That he won't sign it. We shall see. We shall see. Is he a liar or a man of his word? Because right now, I'm getting vibe a liar. Don't know. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him, and that's where I'm at. I don't trust him. You might. I mean, that's your business. I don't trust him. Call your senator. Call your congressman. Tell him this ain't gonna fly. You vote for this, we'll vote your ass out when it's your time. There are districts of people who depend. I mean, there's so many people that depend on this safety net. We don't care. Republicans don't care, but they're the champion for the working class. No, they're not. No, they're not. No tips on tips. No taxes on tips, but we're gonna take away that same waitress's Medicaid. Think about that. No taxes on tips. She gets more money. That's wonderful. That's great. But then on the other hand, if you get sick, you're kind of screwed. So what happens then? Then that person goes into the hospital. They can't go to a doctor. Hell, they ain't got no insurance. Doctors don't usually take people without insurance, but a hospital has to. They go to the hospital. If they have one in town, if they're a rural hospital, like where I live at, that hospital ain't going to be there. So they go to the hospital. They go there. They can't pay for it. No insurance would be nice. No Medicaid to cover that cost. Who do you think the cost is going to go to? You think the hospital is going to eat that cost for you? What do you think? And you wonder why band-aids are a little band-aid's $10, and you wonder why. Shit like this. Shit like this. They don't care. They're robbing you blind. Fight like hell. Don't let them sit here and tell you they're not doing it. It's a lie. And they've made new concessions to the bill that we don't even know about yet. I watched the vote last night. I sat and watched the vote. Then I watched it again this morning to make sure I understood. They made concessions where some of these Republicans were like, well, we'll say we're present so you can get the vote in, but it's not doing enough. Some of them want deeper Medicaid because they want Medicaid eliminated. But keep those tax breaks for the rich people and disappoint the rich. Those poor millionaires. Oh my God, what would they do if they had to pay extra in taxes and pay their fair share like the rest of us? Oh, if they had to pay their amount, oh my God, they would have to panhandle. Oh my eyes are watering for them. Them lousy pieces of shit. I don't mind people getting money, getting being rich. Isn't that the American dream of us all? But by God, pay your share. But no, what they did, they went to Trump, and Trump likes all that shit. They bought into his Bitcoin to get dinners with him, which is just ridiculous. Bought into his cryptocurrency, I guess, not Bitcoin. They bought into his cryptocurrency. I told my sisters that you tell your owner of your company he wants to meet Trump, buy into his crypto. You get a free. You put enough money in, yeah, you can talk to the president by yourself. Get a dinner. I'd tell anybody that if you had the money, you know. And I was watching a video the day of Trump, and he still talks about that 2020 election. This man I mean, give it up. It's done. Nobody stole the election. You lost, but he hates hearing that he lost. Oh, don't say that to him. You're gonna make him mad. Me, Trump, me mad. Might give a damn about you. This is so disappointing. But I'm telling everybody, fight like hell. The steel is on, man. This is going to be big. This is big. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, don't sit around. I'm telling you, they're coming for it. And so supposedly the president said he wouldn't sign it. Do you trust him? I don't. I don't. They said, "Oh, he's a great businessman." Yeah, the same guy that bankrupted the casino. Yeah, the place where they give you money. The house has the edge. They give you money, and you bankrupt the casino. Yeah, I'd say you're a great businessman. This is the messiest administration on this earth that messiest I've ever seen since I've sat here and paid attention. I started really watching politics probably when Clinton came in office. Really watching. Then you had Bush, and then then Obama, and Trump. And, I'm just watching this. I'm just watching this, and I'm like, who in the world thinks that it's okay to take people's men? I mean, why would you pick on the poor? But I know why they pick on poor people because nobody stands up to them. So there used to be this guy for all you kids out there who are listening or are young, man by the name of John Edwards. John Edwards, I think he was running for president, and it came out that he was sleeping with he had a baby by his maid or something. I don't know. Nowadays, that's pretty lame. That's pretty tame. Like shit. He was the only person running that I remember. He would actively talk about the poor. We always talk about the working class. We talk about which we ought to, but we don't talk about the poor, the homeless. We don't ever talk about saving. I have once heard Trump talk about helping the homeless. How many vets are out there who defended this country that are homeless? He has no respect for the vets. You know, he has no respect for them. He tries to pretend he does, but listen to him. I mean, if you don't believe me, look up Trump talks about vets and then go from there. He talks them like they're dogs, but we're supposed to sit here and respect him. Okay, well, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. All right, fight like hell. Don't give up. This is Podcast versus the World. We're on YouTube. Hey, like and subscribe, please, on YouTube. We need to get more views up. Hey, I'm doing this for any help financially we can get with that. That'd be great. We're not sponsored by anybody, at least not yet, but we're not sponsored by anybody. So get us into the algorithm so more people can see this content. Like I said, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I mean, we're on a lot of places. We're on a lot of places. I'm going to post the links in Facebook, um, on my TikTok account. It's under Cameron Abington, and I do videos on there. On some of these, I'll make some cuts here pretty soon. That'll be on TikTok. Drive for 5,000 still alive. We're still working on it. Like and subscribe. Share, like, post, questions. I love it. There was a guy who wrote me a question the other day on one of my videos where I was talking about I wish I could find that question. What I do with my phone? Give him credit for actually writing in. Hell, somebody writes in, you need to give him credit, right? Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see where this guy's at. There was a guy who asked a question, and I was like, well, it was some, I don't even see it now. Oh, this Corey J. And I was talking about Medicaid, and he says only the corruption will be removed. He also said that. Well, saying one thing and doing the other, Mr. Corey J. See, you're being mentioned on the podcast. Keep it up. He did say that. And I believe that when he comes out with his bullshit excuse on why they cut Medicaid, it's going to be, well, we have all this corruption and all people. There isn't $880 billion worth of corruption. Let that sink in for a second, because that's what they're trying to cut. $880 billion. You telling me there's $880 billion in a system that only has $880 billion? Come on, man. Don't be naive. Don't be naive. Just like now, if you want to say that the Pentagon and the Defense Department has $880 billion, oh, I think they have way more than that. I think they have trillions of dollars, trillions of dollars. If they actually did their job, if Doge was actually doing what it's supposed to, which Doge is a good thing. Doge is not all bad. You just had the wrong person doing it. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. That's another conversation for another day. But Corey J, thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. All questions will be answered. Put you in the next podcast. I thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate everybody who engages with us. I appreciate it. We will do a live on TikTok, and we can have more of a conversation, maybe starting on Saturday nights. My dogs are acting an ass. So we are done for tonight. We'll talk to you later. Abington out.